Hey Darren, Jeff here at Radar Golf in Las Vegas. Sorry man, it's taken me so long to get this video to you. I've just been pretty backed up here, busy with lessons and stuff. I just want to take a quick look at the swing that you sent me here and talk a little bit about your swing as it relates to hitting up on the driver. Again, hitting up on the driver, a positive angle of attack is really a highly debated subject, and there's people in both camps that believe you hit down on every club, and then there's people that have I guess more experience on launch monitors, TrackMan, Flight Scope, whatever, who have seen lots and lots and lots of balls hit on those machines and can really differentiate on what angle of attack does to both ball flight, distance, ball speed, yada yada yada. So there's definitely a million different ways to swing a golf club, but I definitely firmly believe that hitting up slightly on the driver to even level on the driver is the far superior method from a physics standpoint. And the reason why is because as angle of attack shallows, as you know, ball speed increases, initial launch angle increases, and spin decreases. So you add those variables together, and that equals more distance. Now, whether or not it's harder to do that is a debatable subject, but in my opinion, it's not. It's not harder to do that. A lot of it is facilitated in your setup, and a lot of it is facilitated in how you move your body. So, just taking a look at your swing really quick. First of all, I want to say you got an awesome golf swing, man. I can tell you put a lot of work into it. Really, really solid move, and I can see you're firmly grounded in the stack and tilt principles, and this swing should serve you well for a very long time. So, just taking a look at your driver setup here, the first thing that I notice is, number one, your ball position. To hit up on the driver, it's going to be really difficult to do that from where you're playing the driver, your ball position. Excuse me. I would say that your ball position needs to be probably 2 inches further, more forward than it is right now. It looks to me in this video, and the video is a little crude because it's not on a tripod, so it's moving, and I can't really use line drawing illustrations to show some of my points here, but I'll do the best that I can. You got it inside of your left heel here, and it's actually further back in your stance than that because you have a very aggressive hip slide toward the target in the downswing, which is one of the key fundamentals in stack and tilt. Moving your hips, in a linear fashion toward the target. So as you move your lower center further forward, effectively your ball position is moving further back in your stance. That's why I've put a swing. I filmed Grant Wade at Riviera here a few months ago, back in February on the driving range at a tour event. And it was funny because somebody just handed him this Tour Striker driver here, and without any warm-up swings, he just popped this thing off about 280 yards right down the middle with a beautiful high draw. But, I just happened to be there filming it and thought it was pretty funny. So first thing I want you to notice is take a look at Grant's ball position. I mean, it's up off his left toe. And the reason why is because Grant, moves aggressively into his left side, much like you do. Therefore, he has to have the ball forward. The other thing that I notice about your setup is that you have very little axis tilt at address. Your shoulders are almost level. So we can create axis tilt in one of two ways. Number one, we can just sort of drop the right shoulder down, which is something we definitely don't want to do because that's going to move the low point of our swing arc back. Or we can create spinal tilt away from the target by moving our lower center forward. And you started to do that. You just need to do it a touch more. Slide your pelvis at your tailbone slightly a little more to the target. That's going to kick in a little bit more axis tilt. Overall, though, I mean, your swing is really, really solid here. I love your move away from the ball. I love how you stay centered on the backswing. Hand path is beautiful. You've got a really aggressive hip slide toward the target. The only issues that I really have noticed with your golf swing, and it'll be more prevalent when we look down the line, is that your shoulders are actually closed at impact. And because your shoulders are closed to the target line at impact, you have an extremely high rate of closure. I mean, look how your right hand here is crossing over your left. That shutting the face is going to be, that's going to be a timing nightmare in your golf swing. I think that's facilitated because your hips move forward in a linear fashion, but they do not open. Your hips and shoulders do not open quick enough in the downswing, or at impact. They're not open enough at impact, and because of that, you're having a feeling of having to flip your hands to square the face. Let me back you up and try to get you sort of in an impact position. It's difficult with this camera, but if you take a look there versus Grant here on the right, you can see that he's still got the handle forward at impact, and the left hand is still in a dominant position and the right hand is still in a submissive position. It hasn't crossed over aggressively. Even onto this frame here, you finally start to see the right hand release. But for you, you can see you've got it completely crossed over there. So that's just one of the things I wanted to point out in your golf swing. I did make the video. I'm sorry, I had the video link that I sent you that Joe filmed about increasing angle of attack. For some reason, it was on private settings, so I'll attach that as well, and hopefully that'll help you a little bit, get a little bit of clarification on what we're talking about in terms of hitting up. From the down the line view here, I would like to look at a couple things with you that I noticed about your swing. Again, you can see here at impact how closed your shoulders are and how your hips are not opening enough. Your hips are definitely forward because we validated that from the face-on view, but your hips are not opening enough, and you don't have proper leg work, proper footwork. The right foot, because the lower center has pushed forward, should be in a banking state or a banking fashion, should be rolling in on your right instep. Instead, you have a little bit of plantar flexion going on where you're going up on your right toe and your right knee is sort of kicking in at the ball. I think that's primarily caused because the hips are not pushing forward and opening; they're just pushing forward. The shoulders are very closed, and we're having to flip with our hands to get the face back into a squarish type position. But those are just a couple of things that I noticed about your swing. Give me a call if you have any questions. I'd be happy to talk through it with you, and hope this video sort of helps you. Again, I'll attach I'll send you an email with a link to this and attach a link to the video that Joe filmed about increasing angle of attack with the driver.